Hello friends, in this video lecture we will discuss about menstrual cycle, that is a reproductive cycle which occurs in human female. Menstrual cycle involve a number of events that occurs parallelly in various parts of female body, that is in brain, ovary and uterus. Menstrual cycle starts at the age of puberty. Puberty, as we already know, is age of sexual maturity. In human female, puberty starts at the age of 10 to 14 years, and the particular phase when first menstrual cycle starts, that is known as menarche. This cycle is getting permanently arrested nearly at the age of 50 years. That stage is known as menopause. So, menstrual cycle is not a continuous process in female. It starts from menarche, that is 10 to 14 years age, and terminates at the age of 50, that is known as menopause. So, there is a number of changes, as we already discussed, occurs during menstrual cycle. So first we have to discuss about the start of cycle. Menstrual cycle starts from the first day of bleeding. Here in this diagram you can see this portion is about the changes that occurs in uterus. So here this is about uterine events. This is about ovarian hormone changes. This is about ovarian events that are related with follicular development, and this first one is about hormonal changes in pituitary gland. So as we discuss, by the bleeding or first day of bleeding, there is a start of menstrual cycle. Means when bleeding starts from female reproductive tract through vagina, that day is considered as first day of menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle occurs regularly at an average interval of about 28 to 29 days average, and during each menstrual cycle there will be release of a ovum, that is in secondary oocyte stage. Further we discuss about the all details, but first what is given here. So at the start of puberty there will be secretion of GnRH, that is gonadotropic release hormone, from the hypothalamus of brain. This GnRH reaches up to anterior pituitary, that is adenohypophysis, and from adenohypophysis there will be secretion of gonadotropins, FSH and LH. These are two gonadotropic hormones. Gonadotropic hormones are those which are functional at gonads. In case of human male we discuss gonad is testis, while in female gonad is a pair of ovary. So these two hormones at the time of puberty releases from adenohypophysis or anterior pituitary and reaches up to ovary. Now about the function of these two hormones. So FSH, as the name suggests, follicle stimulating hormone related with follicular development. What is follicular development? So this is conversion of oogonia into mature or Graafian follicles by a number of events, while LH is related with ovulation and development of corpus luteum. Later on we discuss about these two further. So when there is secretion of FSH, this causes change in ovary and there will be conversion of oogonia into primary follicle, then secondary, then tertiary, and finally into mature follicle. So during this conversion there will be secretion of estrogen. This estrogen secreted mainly from the theca cells of secondary or tertiary follicle and also continues by mature follicle. So theca cell is a layer of granulosa cells which deposited around primary oocyte during the follicular development. Now, this increasing level of estrogen causes a number of changes. In uterus, we can see there is proliferation. There is proliferation means regeneration of this innermost uterine layer. Innermost of uterine layer is known as endometrium. During follicular phase, there will be development of uterus layer. This uterus layer was already disrupted because of low level of progesterone. We discuss how there will be decrease in progesterone level that causes rupturing of this endometrial layer, and that's why there will be bleeding. So this is first phase, that is known as menstruation phase or menses, also known as bleeding phase. This phase lasts from 3 to 5 days. Sometimes this terminates at the third day, or sometimes this may takes 5 days, and in some rare cases this may also extended up to 7 days. So average we may consider up to 3 to 5 days. So first day of bleeding, as we discussed, is start of menstrual cycle. After this, there will be development of endometrial layer. This endometrial layer development is promoted by estrogen. We already discussed this estrogen is secreted by theca cells of follicles, that is secondary, tertiary and mature follicles. When there is gradual increase in estrogen level, this will be inhibitory, or this will provide a negative feedback to hypothalamus. That's why there will be decrease in GnRH, and there will be decrease also in FSH and LH. Now, because of development of these follicles, gradual there will be increase of estrogen. When estrogen level reaches up to threshold, again this will provide a positive feedback to GnRH, that is from hypothalamus, and that again causes further secretion of FSH and LH. Now this time this causes more impact on LH secretion, and LH secretion increases nearly 6 times, while FSH secretion increases nearly 2 times. This high level of LH is known as LH surge, and this causes rupturing of this mature or Graafian follicles. That's why from this mature or Graafian follicles, secondary oocyte or ovum that is not fully mature comes out from the ovary. This process is known as ovulation. Till that, there is continuous development of innermost uterine layer, that is endometrial. Now, after ovulation, there will be rapid decrease in estrogen level, and this decrease also causes here decrease in LH and FSH. After this, the ruptured Graafian follicle, the remains is getting converted into corpus luteum. This corpus luteum, because of deposition of yellow colored lipid particles appearing yellowish in nature, that's why also known as yellow body. This corpus luteum also helpful in secretion of progesterone, that is given here. So this corpus luteum causes secretion of progesterone, and the development of corpus luteum, as we earlier discussed, is promoted by LH. So LH causes two functions. First here ovulation, and second this is development of corpus luteum. This corpus luteum will increase the level of progesterone. When there is increase in progesterone, this provides negative feedback to both LH and FSH. That's why their level again gradually decreases. This corpus luteum not only secretes progesterone but also estrogen. Earlier this will increase high level of progesterone, later on this also contributes in secretion of estrogen. So estrogen not only secreted by theca cells of follicle but also by corpus luteum. Before ovulation this is secreted by follicles, while after ovulation, estrogen is secreted by corpus luteum. Now, this corpus luteum causes maintenance of this innermost uterine endometrium layer. So again, one thing that is very important, estrogen causes development or regeneration of endometrial layer that was disintegrated or degenerated earlier in the start of menstrual cycle, while this progesterone causes maintenance of this endometrium level. Now, this secondary oocyte taken by the fimbriae, that is earlier part of fallopian tube, and by fimbriae this passes in infundibulum and then reaches into ampulla. So in ampulla, actually in NCERT this is given ampullary isthmic junction, where sperm reaches after insemination and fertilization may be there. If fertilization occurs in ampullary isthmic junction, then this corpus luteum maintains its own self and this will continue the secretion of progesterone. But if there is no fertilization, that is no fusion in between male and female gamete, here female gamete is in form of secondary oocyte. If there is no fertilization, then this corpus luteum degenerates, and this degenerated corpus luteum is known as corpus albicans, that is white in color, so known as white body. At this time, when degeneration of corpus luteum occurs, there will be gradual decrease in the level of progesterone, and this decrease in the level of progesterone causes degeneration of this endometrial level. We already discussed progesterone causes maintenance of this endometrium layer. Now there is no progesterone or very low level of progesterone, so there will be decrease or degeneration of this level that initiates menses. So here, as we discuss about menstrual cycle, this is a reproductive cycle that occurs only in mammalian females. There are two different types of reproductive cycles, estrous cycle and menstrual cycle. Estrous cycle occurs only in non-primate mammalians. Under non-primate mammalians, there are organisms like cattle, while menstrual cycle occurs only in primate mammalian females. Here these are few examples of primates: humans, apes, monkeys, but menstrual cycle occurs only in old world monkeys, not in new world. Old world monkeys are found in African countries as well as European countries, Asian countries. For example, like baboons, macaca, langur, these are old world monkey. They also technically termed as catarrhini. So in these females there will be menstrual cycle. What are the basic difference in between estrous and menstrual cycle? So in menstrual cycle there is discharge, while in estrous cycle there is no bleeding or no discharge. As we discussed, menstrual cycle involve a number of cyclic events that occurs during reproductive period. So what is reproductive period? This is given here. Menstrual cycle starts from the age of puberty, that is 10 to 14 years. When first menstrual cycle occurs, that is known as menarche, and this menstrual cycle getting arrested at the age of 50 years. That permanent cessation of menstrual cycle is known as menopause. Now these are few points related with menstrual cycle. First, menstrual cycle repeated at an average interval of about 28 to 29 days, but there may also be plus minus 7 days. In NCERT this is given average about 28 to 29 days. Second, during menstrual cycle there will be release of one ovum or secondary oocyte by any one ovary, and each ovary participates most probably alternatively in each menstrual cycle. So release of ovum or secondary oocyte by ovary, this is known as ovulation, that occurs in the mid of menstrual cycle. Now Cyclic menstruation is an indicator of normal reproductive phases, and as we earlier discussed, this extends between menarche and menopause. Menstrual cycle broadly divided into 4 phases. The first one is menstruation phase, second follicular or proliferative phase, third ovulatory phase, fourth luteal or secretory phase. Now about first phase, that is known as menstrual phase, menses or bleeding phase. So as we earlier discussed, menstrual cycle starts from the first day of bleeding, means first day of menstrual cycle counted when bleeding occurs first time, and we discuss completion of one menstrual cycle occurs at 28 to 29 days. What occurs in this phase? So during menstrual phase there will be menstrual discharge or menstrual flow. This is because of breakdown of endometrial layer or lining of uterus. In uterus we discussed there are 3 layers: the outer thin membranous perimetrium, middle thick muscular that is composed by smooth muscles is known as myometrium, and the innermost that is glandular in nature is endometrium. So this endometrium is highly vascularized, that is internally supplied by huge number of blood vessels that will help for implantation as well as feeding of the growing fetus. So at the start of menstrual cycle there will be rupturing of this endometrium layer along with blood vessels, and all this discharge comes out through vagina outside the body. Why this discharge occurs? So this is because of low level of progesterone. As we earlier discussed, in the last of cycle when there will be degeneration of corpus luteum, that is related with secretion of progesterone, and progesterone related with maintenance of endometrium layer. When there is no progesterone, then this endometrium layer is getting disrupted. But at the time of bleeding, no blood clotting occurs here in this region. This is because of fibrinolysin. Suppose there is clotting in this region, that's why this will make blockage in vaginal region, and now vagina is not free for next menstrual discharge. So here is a unique arrangement because of this fibrinolysin. Second point, in bleeding phase of menstrual cycle, this continues for 3 to 5 days. After that there will be stoppage of bleeding because the whole endometrium layer along with blood vessels passes out, and during one menstrual cycle in bleeding phase there will be nearly loss of 80 ml blood per cycle. Sometimes there may be absence of menstrual cycle, and this is because of fertilization that leads into pregnancy. So there will be no menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle stop may also be due to poor health, a stressful condition, hormonal disorder or chromosomal abnormality in that particular female. In menstrual phase, gonadotropins that are FSH and LH as well as ovarian hormone that are estrogen and progesterone, they all are at their lower level. The second phase of menstrual cycle is follicular phase. This also known as proliferative phase or estrogenic phase or pre-ovulatory phase. Follicular phase name given because of follicular development that occurs inside the ovary. Proliferative phase is given on the basis of proliferation of endometrium layer that occurs inside the uterus, while by follicles there will be secretion of estrogen, so estrogenic phase as well as pre-ovulatory because this phase starts before ovulation, so pre-ovulatory phase. Now during follicular phase there are two major changes. First, that is given here inside the ovary, primary follicles are getting converted into mature or Graafian follicles, while in uterus there will be regeneration or proliferation of endometrium that was earlier releases out because of their breakdown. So at the time of follicular phase, secretion of gonadotropins increases gradually. That results follicular development, and that's why estrogen secretion occurs. This estrogen secretion occurs by thicker layer of follicular cells. The third phase is ovulatory phase that most probably occurs in the mid of menstrual cycle. As we discussed, menstrual cycle completes 28 to 29 days. So mid of menstrual cycle, this will be 14th day. So in 14th day, there will be completion of ovulatory phase. This phase completed in a single day. During this phase, there will be huge increase in level of LH, that is nearly 6 times, while increase in FSH, this occurs nearly 2 times. This high level LH secretion is known as LH surge, and this LH surge causes breaking of Graafian or mature follicles, and from this there will be release of secondary oocyte, that is ovum. So during ovulatory phase, ovulation occurs. Finally, the last phase is luteal phase. This also known as secretory, post-ovulatory or progesterone phase. So luteal phase, this is related with formation of corpus luteum that occurs inside the ovary. That's why the name. Secretory, this related with secretion inside the endometrium or uterus. That's why secretory phase. Post-ovulatory, this occurs after ovulation. That's why post-ovulatory. And by corpus luteum, there will be secretion of progesterone, so also known as progesterone phase. During this phase, the remains of Graafian follicles. Here in ovulatory phase, we discuss Graafian follicles ruptures and there will be release of secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte taken by fallopian tube, while Graafian follicles remain inside the ovary. So this Graafian follicles later on converted into another structure which is known as corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is yellow in color, that's why known as yellow body. Why corpus luteum is yellow color? Because of deposition of yellowish lipid. By corpus luteum, there will be secretion of progesterone hormone, and this hormone maintains endometrial layer of uterus. We earlier discussed estrogen and progesterone. These are the hormones secreted by ovary. Estrogen causes proliferation of endometrium, while progesterone causes maintenance of that endometrium level. Now, suppose there will be fertilization, means the ovum or secondary oocyte which reaches into ampullary ischemic junction of fallopian tube participates in fertilization. At that time, this corpus luteum continues or maintain its shape. If there is no fertilization inside the ampullary ischemic region, then this corpus luteum degenerate, and the degenerated corpus luteum is known as corpus albicans, that is white in color, so known as white body. This corpus luteum, as we earlier discussed, maintains endometrium, but degenerated corpus luteum is not secreting progesterone, so there will be no maintenance of endometrium, and this causes menses, that is start of a new cycle. So after 28 to 29 days, there will be initiation of next menstrual cycle. Here in luteal phase, progesterone hormone which secreted by corpus luteum, this inhibits uterine activities, and that's why follicular development is getting arrested, and this is needed for continuation of pregnancy. In absence of fertilization, higher level of progesterone inhibits secretion of GnRH, and that's why there will be low secretion of FSH and LH, and this low secretion of FSH and LH, this causes disintegration of corpus luteum, and that's why there will be decrease in progesterone secretion also, and this decrease will cause disintegration of endometrium. That's why there will be initiation of next menstrual cycle. As we discuss about menstrual cycle, this completed in 28 to 29 days, but sometimes this may take less or more time. As we earlier discussed, plus minus 7 days may also be there. Here during menstrual cycle we discuss about 4 phases. The first, here this is about menstrual phase. Second, this is about follicular or proliferative phase. Third, at the mid of this menstrual cycle, that is 14th day, ovulation phase. And fourth, here 14th day to 28th or 29th days, that is luteal or secretory phase. So here this is first day of bleeding, from where we have to count initiation of menstrual cycle. Out of this 4 phases, the first 3 they may be variable, while this 4th phase, that is luteal or secretory phase, is always fixed. This is always for 14th day, while the day of menstrual cycle may be more or less. For example, suppose there is a female, and in that female menstrual cycle completed in 35 day, then what will be the time of ovulation? So as we discuss here, the secretory or luteal phase is fixed for all, that will always be for 14th day, while the first 3 phases are for variable time phase. So here 35 minus 14, that is 21st day. So if a female is carrying menstrual cycle for 35 days, then its ovulation will occur at 21st day. Same for here, if there is a female and in that menstrual cycle completed in 25 days, then ovulation will be 11th day. 25 minus 14. These 14 days are fixed in any kind of menstrual cycle. So here ovulation will occur at 11th day. Suppose there is a woman in that menstrual cycle completed in 40 day. Then 40 minus 14. Again this 14 day, that is for luteal or secretory phase, is fixed. So 40 minus 14, that will be 26th day. So here ovulation will occur at 26th day. Now in case of ovulation, there will be release of secondary oocyte or ovum, and when we discuss about the viability of ovum, this is nearly 24 hour. Maximum time this is given 24 to 48 hour, but most probably this is capable to fertilize only for 24 hours. So at the time of ovulation, if there is availability of male gamete, that is sperm, then fertilization or later on pregnancy is only possible. Before ovulation and after ovulation, only up to 24 hours pregnancy or fertilization is possible.